I feel like been giving this gift to get to know myself even better, which for me is a total growth junkie and addict of learning about myself, and diving deeper in this way is like pure gold. Hey you beautiful people, my name is Brittany, and today I'm going to be sharing about getting my Mirena IUD removed. Yeah, I'm really excited to share about this. I've mentioned it in a couple of places on my other channel, the one Connor and I have together, and then also maybe on Instagram, I can't remember, but I've gotten a lot of questions. And so I want to do this as maybe the first video in a series about more my journey with this and menstrual health. And I want to answer some of those commonly asked questions. When did I get my IUD removed? I got it removed on January 25th of this year, 2017, and it is now February 14th, 2017. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. How long did I have my Mirena IUD in? I had it in for almost 5 years. 5 years is how long it's good for, I guess. And so it was already on my mind to have it removed. I think that would be in April or May maybe of this year, but I've been wanting to do it for some time. And I was on the Mirena IUD for 5 years, and then before that for 10 years I was on another form of hormonal birth control, and I was taking the pill. I mostly took Yasmin or Ocella, I believe. Why did I get it removed? Well, I've been wanting to get it removed for some time now, as I mentioned, and it feels right. It finally felt like, yeah, this is the time. We're such unique, dynamic creatures living really different lives. And I think that what we get to do is make the best decisions for ourselves, given our current life, what's happening around us, what's happening in our brains, what's happening for us with the knowledge and tools that we have. And I don't think that there's any right or wrong. And I think that it's such a freaking cool time to live because we have a ton of options. In the realm of birth control, there are a ton of options. And they all serve people at different times for different reasons. And being on hormonal birth control, even though a part of me really didn't want to be taking hormones, I really care about what I put into my body, also a part of me felt like it was really helpful and important. Why now? Why did I decide to go off hormonal birth control now? It's a great question. And I think the simple answer is because it feels right. And there have been other times in my life when it's felt right for parts of me, but there were still parts of me that felt fearful and didn't have the knowledge that I have now to be able to feel really ready for this change, this exciting change. Now I don't feel any fear. I feel like, fuck yeah, this is what I want to do. And I feel like there have been a couple things that have really helped me with that. And the biggest one has been educating myself more. Back about 5 years ago, when I also really considered going off of hormonal birth control instead of getting the Mirena IUD, I learned a little bit about the Fertility Awareness Method and tracking my cycle. And I just didn't inform myself enough, and I learned about some common misconceptions that I actually thought were truths. And so the biggest one, not the biggest, like, this is important to know, but at the time I felt like I wouldn't be able to have a regular cycle and therefore wouldn't be able to track it because of how much I traveled. And I've just learned a lot more since then. So reading Taking Charge of Your Fertility was super helpful for me. I felt by the end of reading that book, or by even just part of the way into reading that book, I felt like, oh, this is totally what I want to do. This feels totally safe and real and for me, and I'm ready for it. But I kept reading, and that just magnified, and I feel like I got so into that book that I was able to really educate myself well and absorb it, and I feel super comfortable with the whole process, the Fertility Awareness Method of natural birth control. And then also I have talked and set up sessions with Dr. Tumi Johnson, who I had for an interview on my channel maybe about a month ago, and she's an amazing woman. She's a holistic medical doctor. She tracks her cycle and has for a long period of time, and also she recommends it. as a method of natural birth control, or if you're planning to bring a child into this world. And in general, I have realized that this is much more than just birth control or anything like that. It's such this beautiful opportunity to understand my body and who I am better. And I don't want to miss out on that opportunity. I feel so excited about it. I feel like a girl who's about to go through puberty but has like all this knowledge that I wish I had had back then of my body and how it works. It's really cool because essentially just a couple years after I had my first period, I went on hormonal birth control. So I don't even know certain things about what it's going to feel like to be in my cycle or who I am in this realm, and that feels so exciting for me. I feel like I've been giving this gift to get to know myself even better, which for me is a total growth junkie and addict of learning about myself, and diving deeper in this way is like pure gold. And the last part of my why now is that I feel like I have the support around me to do this. I've been tracking my cycle for some time now, even though I just more recently went off the hormonal birth control, but I felt like I've really enjoyed the process. It's been so fun for me, and I've had support. I've found so many other people who are doing this since then, and it's just like the norm for. I've had the support of the Taking Charge of Your Fertility book, of Tumi, of all these apps they have on the internet now, which are just fun to check out, and I'll make some recommendations around that at the end. And a big one is that I've had the support of Connor, who is my, I'd say, most regular sexual partner, and we share a really intimate relationship, and he's the one whose life this could affect the most, and who, you know, back when I wanted to make this change with my previous partner, I felt his fear around what this could bring up for us and how this could affect our sexual relationship. And with Connor, I felt this like excitement and joy and his desire to be a part of it, which is really cool because most birth control methods are focused on the female, and there's just not a lot of options for males. And this is a way that I feel like men can really be involved in the process. And I'm saying female or male, but just really talking about, you know, people with a vagina or people with a penis, or just any way that intercourse that could result in the formation of a child could come into play, and that's an important thing to be talking about, I think, with partners that could come up with. And this is a really fun time too, because I do want to be not only syncing up with my body, because that's something I really want to feel in my natural rhythms, but because Connor and I want to have a child at some time. We want to create a baby together in the near future, and I really want to create a beautiful home for them to come into, and a body that's very healthy and supportive that will be able to carry this child. How was the procedure of getting the IUD removed, and specifically, did it hurt? Great questions. This was something I was really worried about. One, because when I got my IUD inserted, it really hurt. And I talked to other women who said it was uncomfortable, wasn't the most pleasant experience, but it's like meh. But for me, it hurt a fuck ton. And I also feel really sensitive about sensations in my body, and I'm not big on medical procedures. I haven't had many done for a reason. And this felt like a big deal, you know, getting this, it's like a T-shaped thing inserted through your vagina, past your cervix, into your uterus. It's crazy. And I was in a lot of pain afterwards and had a lot of cramping for a couple days. And I just felt violated, which I was, on purpose. But getting it removed was a lovely experience, outside of me feeling pretty nervous and just breathing to relax. The experience was great. I had it done in Thailand, in Chiang Mai. I went to the Chiang Mai Ram Hospital, which I really recommend for this procedure. And there was this lovely male gynecologist there who took very good care of me. And the actual procedure, the removal, is really simple. So I think that they use a tool so that they can grab the string that comes through your cervix that's attached to the IUD, and they have you cough. And when you cough, they pull it out. and the gentleman pulled it out for me in like one nice swoop and held it up in the air, and that was it. And it didn't hurt. I was really surprised. I felt this cool sensation afterwards. It's an interesting sensation, almost like if you've had an enema or a colonic, something like that, sort of a interesting sensation in the area that has my uterus. But that was it. And then I spent the rest of the day being really intentional and caring for myself. I had things set up in case if it wasn't a great experience for me. I had a hot water bottle, had different herbal teas, but actually it was quite lovely. And it cost $28, which was just great. Thank you, Chiang Mai, Thailand. So what now? What's happening now and what has happened since then? Well, I think that will be my next video topic, talking about what has happened for me since going off of hormonal birth control and letting my body calibrate. I'm super excited to talk about that. I'm excited to do a video about tracking my cycle and using the Fertility Awareness Method, because I've been doing that as well and it's been amazing. And then I'm excited to do maybe one more video on menstrual health and what I use, because people have asked me around that, like, what do you use when you're bleeding with your period, and what are some other things that you pay attention to during your cycle. In addition to those videos, Connor and I are also really excited to do a video together on this topic about natural birth control, tracking my cycle, and having babies, all those good things, on our channel, Connor and Brittany. And if you're interested in learning more about our relationship, that's a great place to check it out too. What are some resources around this topic? I know I've mentioned it a couple times. I cannot recommend enough Taking Charge of Your Fertility. Really recommend checking out that book. If it's feeling a little large and intimidating, I still recommend you check it out, because it is so worthwhile and has really changed my life. Also, there's somebody called Femhead on YouTube, Femmehead, and I was recommended her by various people, and I've just more recently checked out a couple of her videos, and I really appreciate the information she's putting out there. And I've specifically had somebody tell me that they felt like they didn't really want to read Taking Charge of Your Fertility, so they just started watching her videos and were able to gain so much knowledge on how to track their cycle naturally. So that's pretty badass. Way to go, Femhead. And I also recommend Dr. Tumi Johnson. If you are interested in setting up a session with her, she's just incredible, and she's helped me in so many areas of life, and definitely around menstrual health. I feel like she has so much knowledge. And if you're interested in getting in touch with yourself in this area and in all areas, I really recommend checking out my program, Simplify, where we go through all areas of your life and help get you more in touch with what feels right for you and how to move towards that. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do post your questions in the comment section down below, because I'm excited to do those follow-up videos I mentioned and would love to answer any of your questions there. Okay, sending so much love your way. Mwah. Bye.